they're standing fucking, you know, Nazis. Like they're stan Twitter, but for Nazi shit. But for other equally deranged white supremacist weirdos. And now Ye's hanging out with them and loves them. Fuentes also told Trump that he would crush potential 2024 Republican rivals in the primary, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Trump asked for Fuentes' opinion on other candidates as well. Trump at one point turned to Ye and said, "I really like this guy. He gets me." Trump asked if Fuentes was on social media such as Truth Social, the former president's alternative to Twitter. Fuentes told Trump that he was on Truth Social, but he'd been banned from the social media platform Getter because Trump's advisor, Jason Miller, the CEO of the company, wasn't a fan of his. Trump asked whether it was because Fuentes was on the fringe of his supporter base, the source said. Fuentes acknowledged that he was, saying he's one of those people who got banned from everything. Yeah, that's Trump's way. By the way, that's Trump's way of saying, like, are you a Nazi? Like, that is, it's so obvious, dude. Yeah, no. Yeah, he knows, like, he knows his base. He's not, you know, he didn't on accident say there was very fine people on both sides on fucking Charlottesville when the dudes were, like, screaming Jews will not replace us and shit. Like, Nicholas Fuentes and people like him and the ideas that they represent are either completely appropriate in the eyes of Donald Trump if they are being presented as state violence, whether it be like a Muslim ban, you know, or you know, white nativist immigration talking points, white nativist immigration agenda points that Stephen Miller is like codifying, institutionalizing, right? But he's not going to go out of his way to be like, I am ideologically, you know, on board with fucking Nazis. Like, he's not going to openly state that. He will only say like, oh, I'm a centrist on that issue. Oh, are you one of my fringe supporters? Okay, they're using Kanye like a condom. Oh, dude, yeah. It is so wild how hard he's being fucking grifted and shafted. They're using him like a fucking hand puppet, dude. Straight up, that like Kanye West is being used by literal neo-Nazis as a way to like normalize their fucking perspective, which is crazy. It's insane. It is insane to me. And he is not seeing it at all. He's just, maybe this will cause some internal rift amongst which kind of white supremacists will allow, you know, Kanye to be shared by other white supremacists. Like, because I feel like Candace Owens is not too fond of she's smart enough to recognize that like this shit is super toxic, right? You know? This stuff is really, really toxic. Like, Ben Shapiro is going to pull out. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Daily Wire is pulling out. All of a sudden, you got, like, you know, only the most, like, ideologically minded fascists are going to still end up supporting Kanye West and others like him. So you're going to see, like, internal rifts with Clandis trying to get into Ye's ear and be like, hey, don't hang out with these guys. They're bad. That takes responsibility away from Kanye. He's a grown man and let himself be used. I mean, he's fucking done. He's pathetic. He's fallen from fucking grace in a super, super meaningful way. Recently, there's been some confusion about who Nick Fuentes is. It's time to do an authoritative deep dive. Benny Johnson is like already fucking pushing it, you know? Fuentes with the Charlottesville Nazi, white supremacists and Nazi march. Fuentes posted hours before Heather Heyer was killed that the event was incredible and said, you will not replace us, and that a tidal wave of white identity is coming. Okay, here it is. This thread is from 2019. Oh, I mean, even back in 2019, Benny Johnson was popping off on this guy. Fuentes believes in racial segregation. Here, let's go.
It was better for them too, number one, but number two, who cares? Who cares?
He's talking about racial segregation here. He's saying it was better for them too, as in like better for black people.
Who cares? You know, enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big fucking deal. Oh no, they had to go to a different school. Their water fountain in that famous picture. was worse. Who cares? Grow up. Drink out of the fucking water fountain. It's water. It's the same. You know? And, you know, even if it was bad, who cares?
Someone should get Kanye to listen to some of the stuff to see where Nick Fuentes is, you know? Ah, man, that's nice.
Who cares? It's better. It's better in general. We all agree it was better for them. It's better for us. Better in general. It was better for them, too.
1 hour to cook a batch of cookies, and Cookie Monster has 15 ovens.
He's talking about, he's doing Holocaust math, classic Holocaust denial, saying that 6 million Jews didn't die in the Holocaust.
Working 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long does it take Cookie Monster to make 6 million batches of cookies? I don't know. That's a good question. Certainly, oh, no. It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of...
He's reading probably someone who like called in to his stream
cookies,
or like wrote a dono or something.
And you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. The math doesn't quite seem to add up there. I don't think you'd result in 6 million. Maybe 200 to 300,000 cookies.
What a pussy, dude. Okay, this is the part that you shouldn't show Kanye, because Kanye West would agree with this part. He'd be like, yeah, that's true. Actually, I should start saying that.
And I think the Red Cookie Association said something like that, probably 200 to 300,000 cookies baked, probably. And in addition, you know, in this hypothetical, I imagine that if you took aerial photographs over the kitchens, you would need to see certain smokestacks to release.
All of this is like well documented, well addressed. It's one of the most like typical forms that you are talking to a Nazi who will say like, oh, there wasn't fucking smokestacks, which is all debunked for the record. Like literally ash would fall upon the city around Holocaust concentration camps. It's just like it rained burned flesh. Like he's just denying basic realities. For the record, like I don't even know if I need to address it, but maybe some people don't know. You know, a lot of people don't fully know the history. But like it was very well documented, the things that happened. Yeah, these are the guys who say the Holocaust didn't happen, but it should have, though. Exactly.
The smoke from baking the cookies, and the smokestacks would project certain shadows, but I guess they're not visible in the aerial photographs taken over the kitchens. Moreover, if you look at the soil texture, it's really not deep enough for mass cookie storage underground. And so there's a lot of things, you know, in the cookie kitchen, they say that the ovens are wooden and they have windows on them and they're not totally secure. And the ovens that they use, they actually did sort of an ad hoc use of that particular.
There you go. So he's just, again, like he's just doing Holocaust denial, basic Nazi stuff. Fuentes uses slurs to describe Jews and gay people. He's criticized Rubin Report for being gay and Jewish and referred to him as Jewy.
You want to talk to Jewy Jewstein, who says,
talking about Dave Rubin.
I like the free market. I like capitalism, but I think something else about.
What he's doing with his hands there is the merchant meme, for the record. Like he's trying to say like, oh, he's a merchant. Like goes back to the Jews control the banking system and the media memes. Like the Jewish trader meme, exactly.
Social issues. You know, that's who you want to have on your show. Welcome, everybody. I'm Dave Rubin. I'm gay and Jewish, and this is the Gay Jewish Show. Today, we've got a Jew who is going to talk to us about why the only thing you're allowed to disagree on is economics. Well, hello, Dave Rubin. I'm a Jew, and you know what? Is this getting a little hardcore for you? Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a little too extreme for you? Maybe you tuned into the wrong show. You want to...
He called Matt Walsh blog a race trader because he works for Jews, referring to Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire.
Typing on twitter.com, faggot pussy, race trader. You work for Jews, you know.
By Jews.
Oh, here, this is another one. Fuentes is deeply anti-Semitic and racist. When asked if he's hurt in his daily use by Jews, Fuentes replied, "I told you yes, absolutely." He also said it would be degenerate for a white person to have sex with a black person.
Hurt in your daily existence by Jews.
I told you yes, absolutely. You laugh at it like.
How so?
Hasan, stop. No, you need to see this. These are all things that I'm already well aware of and haven't talked about for a very long time. Deliberately, specifically, didn't want to fucking cover this person because this person is, again, mostly an irrelevant person. But unfortunately, Kanye West is like really, really excited to have this guy be prominently featured, and you know, he's like bringing him to meetings that he's having with Donald Trump. So you know, you just gotta learn a little bit about him, I guess, just to know.
Would you say that me having sex with my dog is the same thing as me having sex with a black man?
No. But they would both be degenerate.
Oh.
Hurt in your daily existence by Jews.
I will.
He's unabashedly sexist.
Continue my crusade against women in politics. Because it's always like this, and it's so ironic. Women are like, I don't like, when you say, you have to affect the face. When you say to repeal the 19th Amendment, that offends me. That hurts my feelings. It's like, have you ever stopped and considered that maybe if you get offended, there's such a strong emotional reaction to political opinions you disagree with across the board. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be making political decisions. That's what I want to say. But what I really said is, Mom, you're an amazing woman. What I really said is, hey, Ma, you're kind of the archetype of what I say women should be. The line is always this: I'm not attacking women. I'm attacking whores. You have no problems, right? I'm attacking whores.
Fuentes on rape.
The idea of rape is that the rapist is getting the sexual pleasure from it. It's about power. Well, at the end of the day, it's a sexual act for sexual pleasure. So it literally doesn't even make any sense why you would rape somebody in a way that doesn't even.
Dude, again, insane. I'm telling you right now, every bad, wrong, completely unhinged, deranged, psychopathic opinion that you sometimes may even ascribe to conservatives as a broader ideology, this dude owns it. He owns it. He just says it out loud.
It's not even about your dick, right? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? If you're just finger blasting somebody, I don't know if you were just trying to be mean or just downright malicious, maybe fuck you. But it's not like it's doing anything for you.
Yeah, you're not even getting your nut off. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Rape a girl, then go home and jack off about it later? That's dumb. You know what I mean? He already he went to jail for this. And he didn't even get his nut.
And like I said, it's just so not a big deal. If a woman jerked me off.
He's talking about the swimmer dude, right? I think that's what they're talking about.
Oh, I didn't want her to jerk me off. Would that keep me up at night? Would I wake up in a cold sweat having a nightmare about somebody's
Yeah, he's talking about Brock Turner.
Off?
He hates gay people.
Combat vet, yeah. And so,
he's a truth too.
4 days, al-Baghdadi is now dead.
Yeah. Sir, yes, sir.
About this amazing victory.
Sir, bottom, sir.
One of the things about it is
another gay soldier.
Yo,
Yo, bottom private. Sir, I suck dicks, sir.
Because they so hate that
I served as a bottom in Blood Gulch, Iraq.
So, we knocked out two. I always like a 2-for-1 special. But we need to all agree that this is a good thing. And it's scary to me.
Fuentes runs the alt-right 2.0. Here he is, side by side with fucking Richard Spencer. Fuentes attempted to distance himself from alt-right leader Richard Spencer. However, he agreed with him on many things. He called the white and white nationalists redundant, implying it doesn't change the meaning of the word.
I think in a way it's almost redundant to say that you're a white nationalist. We know that the word nation almost implicitly talks about ethnicity. And so I think if I call myself a nationalist, it's almost implicit in.
This is one of the funniest things about Nazis is that they will usually very openly state what their goals are. They will usually very openly state they're very public about how they want to change the narrative and even distance themselves from other Nazis who are out and about. That's what Nick Fuentes is doing here, basically, like having minor disagreements with Richard Spencer, because Richard Spencer is a known out and about white nationalist, white supremacist Nazi. So one thing that Nazis always recognize is that, like, listen, if someone has the beat on you as a open out and about fascist, you're toxic. That's it. If someone has the beat on you, if someone knows that you're an out and about straight up fucking Nazi clown, then most people are going to be like, yeah, no, that's too much for me. Okay?
In that word that it's, well, America does have a heritage of being a European country. So, but that's really how I see my.
Yeah, they say never reveal your power level, and that's what that comes from. The power level narrative comes from that. The idea that, like, you should always hide what your actual stated political ideological beliefs are. Derek Black, who's a former Nazi, and the son of the guy who basically created Stormfront, has talked extensively on this, where Derek Black would give seminars to Nazis about how to infiltrate the ranks of the Republican Party so that you can focus on all of the agreements that you have with the Republican Party, which you are very close to in ideology, without, openly stating that you're a Nazi. White Nazis wouldn't like a Mexican in their ranks, Nick. Sorry to burst your bubble. No, I think they'll use Nick Fuentes. Like, all of these, look, nationalist movements revolve around exclusion. So inevitably his time will come as well. But they will certainly use him until his time has come, and they've decided that, like, Hispanic people are no longer white, because Hispanic people originally were not considered white. So
myself.
You are a racial identitarian. Is it your first approximation that Nick's view does not?
Oh God, the guy who's the moderator is like, what's his fucking face? He's like the race realism guy. Ugh. No, it's not Canute, guys. Shut the fuck up. He's is it JF Garepi, who I think raped a disabled person, right? Didn't he? I don't fucking remember. I should literally not know any of this. It's so fucking whack that I know any of this shit.
Contradict your view.
What Nick just said, I would not contradict at all. I wish there were more conservatives like Nick as opposed to.
This is why I stay the fuck away from debate circles, okay? Because when you learn about these sorts of things, because the debate circuit, no matter what happens, is ultimately going to get bored of the same fucking people that are debating and start debating people like this.
Conservatives who get excited by Bibi Netanyahu.
I think we would have to, in some way, affirm that identity as real. So I think I'm in agreement there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Nick just said.
Even if we stopped all immigration tomorrow, because the country is, in terms of births, less than 50% white already, things are already destined to be very different, to say the least. It's a very simple task for how to change that, in terms of we could very easily identify which variables have to change to reverse that situation. You have the native-born population or the white population. You have the foreign-born population. You have to get one of these numbers to increase, one of these numbers to go down. It's very simple to identify those variables and to identify ways to make one go up and one go down. It's a lot more difficult to actually pursue that.
They're talking about how to reduce the non-white population, something that Nazis care about and want to do all the time. That's why they love Donald Trump when he was saying, like, we don't want immigration from shitholes like Nigeria, where people are living in mud huts, and we want immigration from Norway. It's like a very clear-cut, like an incredibly clear-cut, very obvious white supremacist talking point. But because white supremacy is so American that like you'll hear shit like that from random motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You'll hear shit like that from the random the random guy at the bar. You know what I mean? Like these are ideas that like people have internalized. Him saying native born sounds odd as hell for me as a Native American. Yeah, that's why Tucker Carlson doesn't even use the term Native American, but like will use, which by the way, Tucker Carlson's absolutely on board with a lot of these ideas. He says legacy Americans to make that distinction between Native Americans and white Americans. He says legacy Americans. You'll hear him say it regularly.
But I don't think there's really a big difference. I think me and Richard, I think there's a lot less difference than people might think. I think it's going to take a radical vision. We have to be thinking outside the box, not in the way that Conservative Inc. is doing. So I think there's some overlap. Maybe we disagree about how long America has to go or what the solution is, but generally we agree on the problem.
So there you go, Nick.
Thank you. This is beautiful.
Yeah, nice. Fuentes is endorsed by America's leading white nationalist. Richard Spencer has called Fuentes the perfect figure lead a neo-alt-right. I think it's more strategic. I don't want to do a tweet storm on this, but perhaps I must. Ali and others in my reading are attempting to create a neo-alt-right, or basically an alt-right that never moved beyond November 7th, 2016. Nick is the perfect figure to lead this. Here is Nick Fuentes upset that Trump disavowed white supremacy after Charlottesville.
Yeah, for him to disavow white supremacy is very cucked and blue-pilled. You know, totally wrong.
Oh man, he's so cucked. He's so soy.
There's a lot of pressure on him right now. There's a lot of calls for him to disavow the stuff, even from his own side. You know, these people.
Is this Benny Johnson against Nick? He's a newsman. Benny Johnson in 2019, I believe, was already a right winger. He was at BuzzFeed, but he got fired from BuzzFeed for plagiarizing. He got fired from like two other places for plagiarizing. He was just like a routine plagiarizer. Anyway, but by the way, imagine getting fired from BuzzFeed for plagiarism is literally like getting arrested for doing campaign donation fraud in the United States of America. Okay? Like the name of the game is plagiarism at BuzzFeed. So you must have done incredible amounts of it that like even BuzzFeed was like, come on, dog, you're done. Okay? That's like kind of what you're supposed to do at BuzzFeed. And same as, by the way, the other joke is that Dinesh D'Souza went to jail for straw donations in a country where you could just like use the legal channels to make unlimited donations to whatever fucking political campaign you want to.
People like, what's this guy, Tim Scott, who earlier today was like, white nationalism is antithetical to the American creed. But what do you know about the American creed? You know, and Dinesh D'Souza, President Trump should make a speech talking about the roots of white nationalism and white supremacy. When the fuck did you get here? 1990? You know, Dinesh D'Souza. I'm sorry, anybody sounding like Dinesh D'Souza signed the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence? I don't remember that. I remember Dinesh D'Souza got Sam...
Wait, but that argument literally extends to Nicholas Fuentes. Like, what the fuck? Dog, you're not British, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you talking about? You're literally named Nicholas Fuentes, brother. Fuck's he talking about? He's literally like, dude, that's funny. Anyway, that is something that I can never, like, it's just hard to overlook that reality when you're like an out and about Nazi, like a out and about white nationalist, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, and like your name is Nicholas Fuentes. Little bro thinks he's on the team. Like, you're not on the team, man. Anyway,
Francis's career destroyed because he's a fucking liar. Sorry for the language, but you know, really, Dinesh D'Souza is going to roll up to our shore from India, from smelly open defecation India, and he's going to tell us that Robert E. Lee was a racist and our ancestors were villains, as long as they were Democrats, you know. So,
brother, what you mean our? What do you mean our ancestors, bro? That's crazy. Anyway.
Dinesh D'Souza can go to hell. And all these people can't. Yeah.
That is because
Anti-white-
Fuentes, a white supremacist, is in a similar style analogy. Fuentes talks about how he is a whiteboard nationalist and expresses his distaste for blackboards.
Anti-white rhetoric in chat. Not going to have it. We're not going to allow this. Mark Allen says the whiteboard is about to be replaced with a brand new blackboard, and that's a good thing. That's a source of the show's strength. You know what? I'm so tired of this anti-whiteboard rhetoric. You know, they say I'm a white nationalist. That's incorrect. I'm a whiteboard nationalist. America First is not America First if it's not 100% whiteboard and no blackboard. No blackboard. You want to have blackboard? Start your own show. Put it over there. You want to start your own show next door? Fine. Have a blackboard show. This is a whiteboard show. This here, whiteboard country, all right? I don't want to see any blackboards coming around this area because this is a whiteboard show. I hate blackboard.
So the thing is, like, he can't, you know, one of the things is, like, even when he is, you know, very openly a fucking racist or whatever, he can't always openly state it. Like, he can't openly always state, like, his desires. So he has to just, like, use this pussy shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm a whiteboard nationalist. Like, that's it, you know? It's just cowardly as fuck. He is omega cucked, ultimately. And even then, because he can't control his urges and regularly fucking openly admits his interest in having a white ethno-state, ultimately, even if he is, like, incredibly cucked this way, people understand what he is, and therefore he is toxic.
I hate blackboards, you know? Just a very low-quality canvas device, you know? The chalk... The way it sounds on my ears, it's so grating, right? And it's so primitive and prehistoric. I prefer the whiteboard. You get the expo markers, you get all that. It's definitely.
Fuentes is a believer in leftist authoritarianism and identity politics. Fuentes said that if Antifa were waving the banner of Mussolini or calling for fascism, he would be joining them, and that would be a great thing for them to storm DC and take over the country. Yeah, dude, totally. Because you know, Mussolini definitely. When he was popping off was a out and about leftist, you know. Fuentes, leader of the alt-right 2.0. Nick Fuentes basically admits that he shares the views of the original alt-right and that he said they can be fellow travelers, but he doesn't want to call himself the worst political brand. Oh, there it is.
Fellow was saying, "Oh no, Nick defended ethnic nationalism and blah blah blah," and Mike was like, "Oh."
Remember when I told you these guys fucking understand? They understand propaganda fairly well, and they recognize that, like, the brand is toxic.
So he believes everything we do, but he doesn't call himself alt-right. And it's
right.
Like they just can't wrap their heads around the fact that, like, marketing is important. It's really not about the issues in a big way. You know, I mean, in the sense that.
Is Benny Johnson against Fuentes? Yes. There are people even as fucking stupid as Benny Johnson that understand that, like, having Nazis in your ranks that can't fucking stop themselves from getting super horned up and openly admitting their white supremacist ideologies is going to be bad for the overarching conservative movement. Nick Fuentes personally recognizes that that's a bad thing, as he is also personally admitting here. That's why he's distancing himself from the alt-right, because it's bad optics, because ultimately these guys want to change people's minds about certain things, okay? Like, but remember, America is already super fucking right-wing. But no matter how super fucking right-wing America is, you know, we defeated the Nazis, right? Alongside the USSR. But, like, everyone knows that being a racist or a Nazi is a bad thing. Even if you yourself are a racist, you often do not think of yourself as a racist, okay? That's why motherfuckers in the Klan wore hoods for a long-ass time. They went back to it immediately after Charlottesville. Like, everybody knows. Everybody knows that the moment that you're, like, identified as a out and about Nazi, it's over. It's a wrap, right? Which is precisely why they try to hide that, and that's why he's trying to distance himself from the prior alt-right formation, and that's precisely why a lot of the fucking conservatives, mainstream conservatives, are saying, like, oh, come on, no Nick Fuentes. Okay?
Like, the issue doesn't make the brand. The brand is almost a thing in itself. It's almost just as important about the issues. I don't think they can wrap their heads around the fact that they do not have a monopoly. The alt-right brand does not have a monopoly on talking about timeless issues like race and, like, it's almost like high school where I don't want to call myself a part of their group. And so they're all like offended by that. They're all upset. Like,
why does this person have a following? He doesn't. Like, his following is marginal, super, super fucking small. Ultimately, like, he's not like a very big commentator. But the person he has now latched his name onto, Kanye West, well, Kanye West is arguably one of the most famous individuals on the fucking planet. And he gets like 25% of your viewers every stream. What do you mean he's small? My man, if you're one of those fucking absolutely brain dead, pathetic fucking losers who thinks websites like DLive or Rumble have like real fucking views, I don't know what to tell you, okay? They fucking viewbot. Also, that's a self-report. Like, you're literally watching. You're telling me that you're watching fucking Nazis. Like, abandon that fucking idiot. Okay? Like, you're talking about a website whose daily active usership is like literally an XQC stream, okay? Like, overall. Yeah, of course they're fucking fake. They're botted to hell. If you think Rumble metrics are real, well, I got a bridge to sell you. Maybe you'll fucking purchase some NFTs soon as well. So does Twitch viewbot? I mean, there are viewbotted channels on Twitch, absolutely. They come up every now and then. Twitch usually is like a little bit faster with taking them down, unless they're a fucking Elon Musk crypto bot sales stream, which, you know, will pop up every now and then with like 30,000 fucking views. But no, a lot of the live streaming websites are a little bit better at dealing with view bots than you know, places like fucking DLive and Rumble and shit like that.
he won't even call, even though he's like hangs out with.
Aren't you watching a Nazi right now? Watching this stuff is how we educate ourselves, and I don't know if we should blame that chatter for watching them. There's a difference between watching this person's like worst moments as an educational opportunity once he linked up with you know, Donald Trump and Kanye West, versus someone coming into the chat and be like, bro, he has like 25% of your viewers. If you cannot comprehend the difference between what that person was saying and what I'm doing, I don't know what to tell you. Why do you guys behave this way? What did he say? Let me see if I ban him permanently. Heard. What does that mean? Okay, I'm not going to ban him, I think. Yeah, he understands, I think.
With all of us, and even though he was at that party, he won't say he's a part of our group. Like, we don't even like him.
We rode the same bus together.
Yeah, and it's all just very. It's like we can be fellow travelers, and I just don't call myself probably the worst political brand in the country right now. It's not. I don't mean that in a personal way, but that's just, you know, how the winds are right now. Well, and I like these guys personally. Like, I like them okay enough. But like you said, it's coming at the problem from very different areas, and they pretend that they don't know that has an effect on people who are trying.
What does he mean saying fellow traveler? Just means like they're on the same path, dude. Okay.
To enter into the mainstream political conversation. It's like, you know, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with you so much on diagnosing the issues, but if we're trying to address the problem from within the system, I can't be associated with somebody who was throwing up Roman salutes with the KKK.
There you go. That's it. That's it. Perhaps some conservatives do not fully understand the vile hatred Fuentes represents. Hopefully this raid has made it clear for who he is and what he believes. Others have avoided comment. We're passing that. To ignore the full truth would be a horrible mistake. Nicholas J. Fuentes should not be protected or coddled by the conservative movement. We should disavow this tiny angry man standing in front of his tiny green screen. We don't disavow hatred, racism, identity politics, and open anti-Semitism. How are we different from the left? I love that. Benny Johnson. How are we any different than the left? Pointing to a guy who is like hanging out with Marjorie Taylor Greene, hung out with Donald Trump the other day. How is Kanye aligned with Fuentes when Fuentes is so openly racist? Well, Kanye West is unhinged. Okay, he's absolutely unhinged, and he doesn't know anything. Like he I don't know who the fuck put them in contact with one another, but he probably thought that Nick Fuentes was very smart. Okay, that's it. That's it. Like, that's literally it. He doesn't fucking know any of this shit, most likely. He's like an edgy teenager. He's unironically behaving like all the fucking kids on 4chan originally.
Blacks vote for Democrats. Why do they do that? God only knows. Why do they play the knockout game? Why do they punch white people in the street for no reason?
The knockout game. Oh my God. One of the funniest parts about these fucking unhinged virgins is that their ideology, their rhetoric, and their opinions resemble the likes of like a 75-year-old Fox News watcher. Why do they play the knockout game? Yeah, dude, that's what black people are doing. They're playing the knockout game. Most of the Zoomers in the chat have no fucking clue what that is, but that was popping on fucking social media and on Fox News and Fox News adjacent local news broadcasts about like way back in the day where like black people are coming up and like punching Whitey in the face, you know, that sort of thing.
Why do they rob 5 7-Elevens in 30 minutes? Why do they walk around with their pants around their ankles? I don't know.
The pants around the ankles. Let's go, dude. This man's racism is like vintage, dude. He's talking like a fucking 40-year-old man in 2006, okay? He said, pull up your damn pants, okay? Oh, what a fucking goober. That's awesome. He's racist Benjamin Button, bro. What a fucking loser.
I don't know. I'm not black, so it's not my experience. It's unexplainable, but this is what they do. Okay, this is how they are. It is what it is. That black vote is locked in, man. It is totally inelastic. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what they believe or who they like. I mean, it just doesn't matter. So why would we create these opportunity zones and a platinum plan and just send the military in? Do what must be done. Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe. They'll complain about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're never going to vote for us. 9 and 10.
Nice. When he's not calling for the military occupation of black communities, he advocated for the mass murder of women as a way to end women's rights by burning them at the stake.
We have got to talk about the fundamentals of our worldview.
I mean, dude, every broadcast is like this, by the way. The reason why there's like millions and millions of fucking clips. On Leftovers, Ethan, every time like there's like a funny moment of Nick Fuentes, like, you know, being outed as someone who was like dating like a cat boy or something, Ethan wanted to cover it. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And the reason why we're not doing it is because I always said like, no shot, not covering this fucking dude, not relevant enough. He like, I don't even want the fucking light of day. I don't want a light to be shined on this dude, even when it's like his worst moments or whatever the fuck, you know? Yeah, a Nazi cat boy. I mean, these guys are all fucking degenerate weirdos, okay? They're just completely unhinged, right? And the reason why I never really talked about him and gave him any fucking clout was because it had not reached like terminal velocity. And that's the reason why I'm doing it now, because let's be fucking real, the cat's out of the goddamn bag. Like, if he's meeting with Donald Trump and Kanye West is like promoting him on his massive fucking Twitter account, yeah, well, it's a little bit too late for that, I think, right? Yeah, the cat boys are out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag, like it's over. I still think that Kanye's brand is going to diminish by aligning with this person even further. So it doesn't really matter either. But we shall see what happens. I'm just giving you additional information on background so that you guys have a better understanding. Okay? You have a better understanding of like who this person is and what he represents. Like the top of the hour. I need you to understand that at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. But if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Okay, it's not my best. It's not my best. Shut the fuck up. And I have to pee, and I've been holding it in for a while. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. Or you can get gifted a sub. Isn't USA all of its history is neo-Nazi versus origin Nazi? What? Why would you align with anyone in the political entertainment complex? From my experience, is ruthless and people are just there to cut you down. Plus, everyone has skeletons in their closet. No offense, but I wouldn't associate or go to any of y'all weirdos, lol. Go to any of y'all weirdos? What? Or you are literally a 20-month subscriber to me, though. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I don't even disagree with what you're saying. La la la, Keisha, thank you for the 5, get the subs. It's like partially the reason why I don't fucking touch any of this shit. But like, yeah, I think that like a lot of the a lot of the debate sphere focuses more so on like winning debates, and I don't like that. I think that there are more important things than that. You know?
And what it would look like to build a society based on our distinct worldview, which is different from the left, different from a godless, atheist, constructivist, liberal worldview. And what does that look like? Does that look like a society where you have gay marriage and birth control and contraceptives and legal, ubiquitous internet pornography and all the rest, but transgender kids aren't playing in girls' water polo? No, that's not what it looks like. It looks like a society where women don't have the right to vote. And it looks like a society where boys and girls get married as teenagers.
He's saying that's his perfect society.
And start having kids. And they don't use birth control. And they don't use contraceptives. And they have big families.
Dog, what about you, though, homie? Like, you're literally openly terrified of women and have never had sex with women, and here it is, by the way. I'm going to go pee. This is a funny moment, at least.
I mean, I dare say, from my understanding of many of your viewpoints, you also promote like the way of interacting with women, and I go, have you been in a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them in a romantic capacity, or, in fact, in any capacity where you uphold them in a way that treats them with respect? I mean, if you're out here arguing that women are basically half the value of, well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, in fact, because that's not right. Mm-hmm. But, if you are looking to some other regimes around the world that do think that women are half the value of a man, I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
Well, I'm having an experience with a woman right now, and I've had lots of experiences with women in my life, not romantically per se, but I've talked to enough women. I've been in, I've known enough women to know sort of what's going on.
I mean, I dare say, from my understanding of many of your viewpoints, you also promote like the way of interacting with women, and I go, have you been in a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them in a romantic capacity, or, in fact, in any capacity where you uphold them in a way that treats them with respect? I mean, if you're out here arguing that women are basically half the value of, well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, in fact, because that's not right. Mm-hmm. But, if you are looking to some other regimes around the world that do think that women are half the value of a man, I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
Well, I'm having an experience with a woman right now, and I've had lots of experiences with women in my life, not romantically per se, but I've talked to enough women. I've been in, I've known enough women to know sort of what's going on.
He knows. Yeah, rough, baby. Rough. Yeah, negative Riz, dude. Oh, brother. I've seen that video a lot. This was one of the things that I did not want to even cover because I didn't want to give it any attention, but yeah. Isn't she a Trump conservative as well? Let that sink in. Yeah, no, he is too toxic for even the fucking most trumped up conservative weirdos. You know what I mean? The most unhinged weirdos, because he says shit like this.
High birth rate, and it looks like women wearing veils at church, and it looks like women not being in the workforce, and it looks like
I mean, he wants like like a Saudi / Iranian theocracy, but white and Christian. That's what he wants, which we all know is not exactly the best best form of governance. That's what, and the reason why I'm using that is because there are plenty of people, remember, in both Saudi Arabia and Iran and in other places where there are theocratic formations that fucking hate that shit, just like you. So always remember that like, when you're shitting on the entirety of Iran, when you're shitting on like a fucking, when you're shitting on governments and you're shitting on the actual people that live in that government, remember that they are not a monolith and they are struggling more than you are because they're also struggling to fucking, overthrow their own form of governance. But this guy very openly is just saying like, we want, Christian Sharia.
Mothers raising their kids, and it looks like pornography being banned. And homosexuality and transsexuality, as well as heterosexual sodomy, as well as fornication and adultery being shamed by the society, and maybe in some places, in some jurisdictions, regulated by the law. It's not enough to say we're against trannies, you gotta be against women's rights too. It's not enough to be against blue-haired feminism, you gotta be against women getting educated.
That's actually kind of funny that he's just like, he literally is like, it's not the current conservative party and it's like endless conquest to eviscerate trans people from existence is not enough. Like, you also have to literally fucking hate women openly. A winning idea here.
What are we really trying to achieve here? 1999? 1999 sucked too. We want to go back to 1099. We want to go back to the Middle Ages.
What is this? You have striked fear in the heart of the offspring of the almighty Hathor and made him weep tears.
Whoa. Who, is that Hasan? Whoa. And a peepo? Look at the peepos. Froskur. Frogs. Whoa.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Hathor.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at that one. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, it's Hasan. Oh, Hasan is scary, huh? Oh.
Oh no.
He's pretty scary.
Oh no. That was from 5 days ago. I never even saw this. I'm sorry that I made him cry. Dude, oh god, that'd be sick to work out with Hathor. Holy fucking shit, dude. That would be. Was nice knowing you. The mountain's coming. Nah, I would never. Ignore the shit clip title.
Hasan's title.
It's our fifth favorite sport of mega dance. It's our fifth favorite sport of mega dance.
USA versus England. Yay loves Nazis. Chill post Thanksgiving.
That's the chillest. That is the. This has been a relatively chill day for our regular news coverage. You might not recognize that if you're looking at it from the outside, which I understand. But that is the chillest HasanAbi stream.
What? How was you gonna say Yay loves Nazis? Chill post Thanksgiving stream.
You want to do a shotgun because we don't have more left?
Do that. Look at Hasan's title.
This is true. Everyone thinks we're insane. Yeah, I mean, bro, we're on Twitch. Everyone is insane. Let's be real. Like, you have to recognize that, like, Twitch is about just one neurodivergent community shitting on another neurodivergent community for their own very specific brand of neurodivergence, okay? And what their fucking what their hyper focus is. That's it. There is not, like, no one is fucking normal, okay? No one is like neurotypical here, all right? That's it. That's just the truth. Like, it doesn't matter. Politics autism versus gaming autism. Kevin Durant went on Hot Ones and cried his eyes out? No way. Bill Burr talking about you and D on his podcast? There's no fucking shot that Bill Burr was talking about me. I would be very surprised if he was. Isn't he the same guy who debated a while ago on the Self podcast? Yeah, he fucking pulled up last second. He pulled up last second to the fucking debate. It was supposed to be Blair White. It was a big mistake. Anyway, it was a major mistake to have him on and give him any kind of fucking brand recognition. It was really fucking awful. Blair White backed out last second, so train filled with a Nazi. This Nazi. So Louis Theroux actually did a documentary on the extremely online far right communities, and I didn't cover it